self-honesty begins. This is a guide to give you an estimation where you are in your process, and obviously also where everybody else is in that process. Self-honesty begins when you realize the failure of faith, hope, love, energy, beliefs. It's when you realize that all of these things were self-deluded and it made you blind from reality. And when that happens, you're going to have to give up the easy life of beliefs and faiths and hopes, and where you do not have to consider everyone and just look at your own life. You have to give up your self-interest. That's where self-honesty begins. Then a great battle ensues. You will then be in a battle with yourself between the easy life that you're going to leave behind and the more difficult one. Initially, obviously, because there is always pain in change. The more difficult one, where you have to concretely, physically, practically redesign yourself into a trustworthy, self-worth, effective human being that care about life itself and love thy neighbor as thyself and will not allow abuse to exist. And that's a great battle, because the easy life is really easy because you've done it so long for no other reason. You have already gone through the phases of learning with the easy life, through your education and family and religion. The phases of learning is where you first go through a resistance of the concrete stage. That means the physical integration, and then it becomes automated, and then it's easy. You just live it. It automatically happened. You're pre-programmed. Now you have to deprogram yourself at the point of change, at the point of self-honesty, and then reprogram yourself effectively so that you can be automatically trustworthy. That means you have to redesign you as self-worth, self-trust, and as worthy of life. That's the act of creation, of self-creation, self-awareness, self-realization, considering everything that is here through the equality equation. Some will take a much longer at this point of change, at this war, at this point where you have to fight with yourself. Well, that's how you perceive it. You're fighting with yourself about self-honesty. The real problem is actually when you have an extended fight is that you are giving in at the critical moment of change. Say you want to stop masturbation from the perspective of abuse and that it becomes a living expression, then you give in at the primary moment where you can break through and you go to the easy way. Say you want to stop smoking and you go to the point where you cannot bear it anymore. You have to smoke now. That's the point of change. That's where you stop. That's where if you breathe through those points, that's where you stop. Or you have a desire where you think about somebody constantly and you would like to have sex with them and you want to have them and the whole story and you can't help yourself and it just drives you crazy. It is where you stop, where you can't bear it anymore, where it becomes too much. That's your point of self-honesty. That's the point where you change. That's where you have to breathe through it. That's where breath is critical. That's where you stand and who you are is developed. And yes, you will fall there sometimes, but you'll always be taken back to that until you stand, until you have it made. That is the message of destiny. That's the credibility of destiny. We prove that a human being can really change. We prove that there is ways to let go of the deception and the self-interest and the abuse in this world, and that it is possible for all of humanity to love thy neighbor as thyself and to give to each other what you would like to receive. Join us with an equal money system and the equal life foundation to bring about forever a place called home here on earth, which is heaven on earth. A place worthy of our children and their children. Let us be the point of change. Let us be the ones that take the responsibility. Let us be the creators of a new world. It's all within this point of self-honesty. The key is honesty. To honor self as life. Who will you be? Only you can answer this question.